resource centers are places where agroforestry techniques are practiced and where farmers converge for information, experimentation, and training. These centers are assumed to facilitate the diffusion of technologies to farmers because they encourage continuous interaction between farmers, relay organizations, and research, making technologies such as marcotting, rooting of cuttings, and grafting more relevant and acceptable. The brain behind the concept of rural resource centers in Cameroon is the World Agroforestry Center, ICRAV.
We developed this concept because we thought that it was really necessary for farmers to know where they can go to be updated on the latest result we achieve, not only in tree domestication, but in agroforestry. Because when we started work here in 1997, there was an extension services, but this extension services was not functioning anymore. And we have to develop our own strategy to make sure that our farmers, mainly at the grassroots, are exposed to the result of our research. That's why we developed the concept of rural resource centers.
In November 1993, the first experimentation center, dubbed the MIFASIC Training and Resource Center, was created in Bello, northwest region of Cameroon.
I started this center as an individual when I left the Technical College of Agriculture, and I cannot remember where I got 300 francs to buy 10 grams of cabbage seeds. And before long, I had some family members, up to 7, that formed a group. And in the next 2 years, we were about 11 of us, and we started doing nursing seedlings and also doing gardening. And within this time, we had a project in this community called Kilomejim. They contacted us and we were working with them. And in the next 4 years, ICRAV came to the region to extend, to scale up their program, their research on tree domestication. And they made us as a pilot group, and we started working with them. They trained us on marcotting, rooting of cuttings. We mastered this technology very well, and in the next 3 years, they started using us as a relay organization.
The center has been very successful, and today it contains 3 nurseries, demonstration plots, a modern training hall, and accommodation facilities to host trainees. The center generates income and disseminates agroforestry innovations in different ways.
Information here is disseminated in 2 directions. We have government technical services and NGOs that contact us for the good work that we are doing. They take us to the field and we train other farmers to do the same thing that we are doing. Other farmers, individual farmers, also come here to request for training, and others come here to ask us to develop their farms. And that is how we are generating our income to continue to develop the resource center. In a year, we can raise up to 20-30 million with all the services that we render. And we also plow back into the center for the developments that you've seen around. You see, we are building additional 14 rooms to make up 32 rooms. And we are also expanding the nursery. And we also pay staff. We have also employed some people who are working with us. We have about 14 people working with us in this center.
The successes recorded by the MIFASIC Resource Center in Bello has made the authorities to start dreaming of the possible uplifting of the center into a vocational training center. The Bello success story has encouraged others to embrace the concept. The Riba Agroforestry Resource Center in Kumbo, specialized in the production of organic food, is a vivid example. The center uses solar panel to generate electricity and carries out different activities, including the rearing of animals.
We train farmers from all 5 subdivisions that are based here in Kumbu and beyond. And we train them mostly on sustainable agricultural management. We do livestock integration. In this center, we have a tree nursery, we have animal pen, we have the garden, we have an orchard. So, and we have small banks of different type of trees and crops that we produce here. What we do here, specifically, which other resource centers don't have, is the issue of soil fertility. Because the food that we produce here, the vegetables, is all purely organic. So we don't use chemical fertilizers here. We produce tons of Irish potatoes here, but we hardly take them to the market. People only rush here to buy.
The center has a conference room, lodging facilities to house its visitors and trainees. At the Nyaanek Agroforestry Resource Center in Kugwe Batibo, much is being done to disseminate agroforestry innovations to farmers.
We organize field days where farmers from other groups come here and we exhibit our product. They see, they ask questions, we tell them the answers. And we organize days that people come here for training. We select group leaders from other groups. They come here, we train them the skills of marketing, grafting, cuttings, and how to raise seedlings.
The Kogwe Center has its specificities.
We are engaged in the production of bitter kola, njangsa, bush onion, ogbono, because these are things that are growing locally in the area. And since they are really getting out of use, because with the expansion of farm, the forest, those that exist in the natural forest are being destroyed. We now reproduce them vegetatively to replace those ones that are being destroyed in the field.
The concept of rural resource centers that started in Bello in the northwest region of Cameroon is now gathering steam in the west region, particularly in Bangante and Bayangam. In Bangante, the non-governmental organization APADER created the SIFA Agroforestry Resource Center.
This is where we started on 2005 with our contact with ICRAF. As any resource center, we start by training on nursery, and this nursery is our nursery school where we started, because after building this nursery, we start also to invite our farmers here to be trained.
The center is a big structure with nurseries, a training hall, a library, and lodging facility for guests. In one of its structures, a processing unit has been set up made up of a dryer and grinder. Here, shoe nuts are processed and transformed into shoe butter and oil. The coordinator of the transformation unit, Yusuf Laurence, says through this unit, they have been able to take care of their families and send their children to school. The Pro Agro-Rural Resource Center in Bayangam also plays a great role in disseminating agroforestry innovations to farmers. The center functions in a special way.
Apart from the production of plant in our nursery, where we use the various techniques, that is marketing, grafting, and cutting, that we learn from ICRAF, we are also promoting an innovative approach that we produce compost, then we use it in agriculture to have good results like this. You saw the yams. We also produce further crops to feed our animals. So this is an approach we are trying to develop in the community, so people in a small area can be producing their crops and having their animals in just a small area, and or they can also generate income. You see, the sale of plants in our nursery, each year we are selling plants up to 3.5 million from that nursery.
The center trains farmers on how to create compost, and make use of manure to grow maize and yams in bags. It grows further crops to feed animals. All these techniques are disseminated to farmers. At the Sima Agroforestry Resource Center in Jombe, emphasis is laid on certain crops.
We have cocoa, we have white pepper, and we have plantains. But above all, we can do any other type of multiplication of plants, maybe through grafting, through marketing, through cuttings, depending on what the people will need.
As ICRAV continues to promote the concept of rural resource centers, many local farmers in Cameroon are already reaping the benefits.
What's the wrong benefit for this Kugwe group? Things like this trees them. Well, the plant them, it take long time before we harvest them. Like this bush mango, country onion, and Jansa, all these things will take long time before harvest them, and until they give you money. But for this group, they don't teach we how we make grafting, and then plant the thing, we harvest them quick. And when we plant and harvest them, now for they will get plenty money, we will be able for sponsor our picking them for school, and then for do some other thing them, even for live for house, even life inside house would go easy. Because we would harvest all this in them, would sell and would get enough money.
I've also been trained in the center to be able to train other farmers to be able to develop the technology that MIFAC is doing on tree domestication. And we have moved around at least 60% of the entire country.
I have had money through the trainings that I received in MIFAC. My children's education is done freely and nicely, smoothly.
I don't learn marketing way, then grouting. I don't that grouting, so I don't grab some tree, then plant them. That tree then they grew, then they give me fruits, where they use them with my picking them for family.
Since I came here and I've learned, I've studied, and I've learned so much. Now I cannot buy food. I cannot buy anything from now except from now. I've benefit from here. I sell corn, I sell potatoes, I sell vegetable, and I'm able now to pay my children's fees, and I'm able now to buy clothes. So it really improved my life.
The concept of Rural Resource Center, which is an award-winning concept, is gradually but steadily gaining grounds in Cameroon. It is today considered by the World Agroforestry Center ICRAV as an effective locomotive for the dissemination of agroforestry innovations and more particularly participatory tree domestication.